Free roaming is a practice that has been going on for many years in eastern Kentucky. Basically, it's what the name says. It's free roaming. Any horse that is pastured up here is free to roam wherever it is.
It started years ago with the local people putting their horses up here because when you live in the mountains, there's almost no flat land, very little pasture, and when coal companies left their land and were no longer working on it and had seeded it with grass, it was the perfect environment. We started the Appalachian Horse Project about 6 years ago, and the coal companies were having problems with the free roaming horses eating the grass they had planted. And coal companies have to put down a bond when they start mining that says they will reclaim or put the land back to a suitable purpose. And so when the horses would come in and see that nice young grass coming up, they'd eat it down all the way to the dirt practically. And the coal mine companies were having a hard time getting their bond money back because you have to prove that you've got grass growing. So the complaint kind of came into the governor's office, and they came to the horse council. I was at the horse council and said, can you get a group together and try and figure out what we're going to do about this? So we formed the Appalachian Horse Project specifically to address that issue. And then we realized what a benefit it was to just have these herds, and so we kind of went from there.
One of our biggest challenges is overpopulation. The herds have grown tremendously in the last several years. In the past, it was always a gentleman's agreement, as you may. People would only graze their mares and geldings, and they would use the property and the pasture for raising their colts, and then once they got old enough, they would take the stallion colts off. So there was never a problem. But then there was a downturn in the economy, and people could no longer afford to keep and feed their horses. They just brought stallions up here, and that increased the population, and that leads to too many horses maybe for one area. During the winter, they tend to come off and lick the salt off the road and stay in the roads, and they possibly could get hit by cars. So it's a safety hazard for both vehicles and people and horses. So we're trying to maintain and get the stallion population reduced.
One of our first goals, and it's the most primary one, is to keep the horses healthy, whatever that takes.
A lot of the horses up here are owned, and then there's several horses that we don't know who owns them. So volunteers that come out feed through the winter, and we put in hay, salt, and we also are starting to worm a lot of them the last couple of years.
We kind of have three major sources of funds. One is tours, and the tours enable people to see them, and it also enables us as a nonprofit to have a source of income.
A lot of people in the community do like them, and other people that come down and damage their property maybe not necessarily like them too much. But the majority of the people in the area are happy they're here. They can come visit them, they feed them, they bring their families up here, and they just love them.
We have a lot of people that have never even seen or touched a horse that love to come up here and just be close to them. There's something to be said for that, especially in communities or people that have other problems to deal with. When they come up here, they're just, you can just see they have joy on their face. It's just great to watch them.
People in eastern Kentucky are horse owners and horse lovers, and just a great bunch of people to get together and ride with. We may not have the fancy barns and fences and pristine pastures as Lexington horse owners, but we love our horses just as much.
I think there are a lot of people that own horses that feel that it's cruel to leave them up here, but they've never been here. And so all I ask is that people that feel that way come up and see the herds, see how happy they are, see how free they are, see how most of them are in pretty good shape. As long as we can manage and keep the herds healthy, then there's no problem.
I believe the herds are here to stay. The future, if we can get the population under control a little bit better, it looks bright for the horses.
Enjoy more Kentucky life. Subscribe now.